going on?
Thank you so much.
Pay like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family. Smoochie.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock. My guys, Lucas Widman, Edward Lewis. Guys, first round of the NFL draft in the books. A bunch to talk about there. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes, but we are going to start with a crazy and a really scary situation involving one of the best and most talented young basketball players in the entire country, who also happens to be the son of a former NBA star. We're talking about Alijah Arenas, an 18-year-old basketball player, guys. He is a high school senior who is a 5-star college recruit. He is, by everybody's account, one of the best high school players in the entire country, who had an absolutely open invitation to essentially every college, every big program across the country. But early this morning, and Lucas is going to get into some of the details here, he was involved in a really scary and a really serious car accident.
Yes, around 4:55 a.m. Thursday morning, officials received a call and fire personnel responded to a call regarding a trapped patient. Now, once on the scene, they discovered a Tesla Cybertruck, and it was on fire in the front of it. And by the time officials did respond, the driver, who turned out to be Alijah Arenas, was already out of the car and was rushed to a nearby hospital. Now, this is where things get conflicting a bit. Now, there are reports out there that he was placed into an induced coma due to smoke inhalation because of the flames that erupted from the crash. Now, also, LAPD has released a statement on this saying he was transported to the hospital in stable condition. So regardless of which report is more accurate, what we do know, based on footage that we have seen and obtained, this was a very serious matter.
Is somebody in there? Okay. Wake up. Wake up quick. Get him up. Get up, bro. Come on. Get up. We're gonna leave one person in the car, but please double check. Please check first. He was in the car. But just please, hey, no, wait, check in the car first, bro, please. Just in case. Y'all do y'all thing, bro.
As you can see in that video, the car is up toward the sidewalk, and officials say that it hit a fire hydrant and then hit a tree.
You could see it on fire there, and Edward actually was able to speak with some of the people who were out there, but what a tense situation, Ed, and keep in mind now, this is at 4:55 a.m., I imagine everybody was asleep and you're awakened by this big crash. Crazy, crazy scene out there.
Yeah, I think the biggest question from this video is his attire. He is shirtless, and he appears to be pantsless, and he also appears to be shoeless. I was actually under the impression that perhaps maybe his clothing was on fire during this, and they pulled him off and they took it off. But no, one of the people that actually pulled him out of the Tesla told me he was simply dressed that way in the car prior to this accident. So I think that raises a lot of questions as to what happened leading up to this. Nonetheless, the witness told me this scene, as you could see, was crazy. The fire hydrant was spewing water everywhere. The Tesla was on fire. They were having trouble getting him out of the car. But fortunately, as you can see in this video, he did appear to be conscious as after they pulled him out of the car. And he told me they did put him on a stretcher and took him away in what appeared to be decent shape. So he does, at least from the person that saw him on the scene, did appear to be okay, at least at that time of the crash.
Yeah, I think, Edward, it's a little bit hard to see, but if you look right towards the edge of the frame there, it does look like at one point you actually can see Alijah standing up, which is a really good sign, but also very clear that there was something wrong as he's laying face down in what is a growing puddle right there on the street. Anyone who knows anything about these Cybertrucks, I mean, those things they're quite literally bulletproof. They are very well-made and sturdy vehicles, and if you see the front end of the vehicle, it is smashed in, which seems to indicate that he was traveling at some sort of high rate of speed here. That's something I think obviously the police in LA will continue to investigate and try and figure out what was the cause of the crash here. I mean, you look at the road and it appears to be a straight road. It's not a lot of traffic at that time of night. So there are some questions about just what led up to this crash. Now, we talked about Alijah as a basketball player. He has committed to play basketball at USC. Gosh, you really hope that doesn't change and he is still able to continue his career. He is a fantastic basketball player. You look at mock drafts, guys, for 2026, so not this NBA draft, but next year's NBA draft, and I've seen him going as high as like the second or the third pick. I mean, this is a lottery type of player. That's how talented he is. As a matter of fact, our own Charlie Cotton ran into Alijah at LAX, and Alijah had just locked himself down an Adidas deal that was paying him a whole bunch of money. He was very excited about that. And when we ran into him, we asked him about the new contract with Adidas. Here was Alijah Arenas.
Pops was with Adidas, is that right?
Yeah, he's with Adidas. Yeah.
Would you be interested in doing something similar?
Yeah, I'm about to sign a deal with Adidas. Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Have you talked about that before?
No, not really.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Your dad must be so proud of you.
Yeah, he is. You know, it was just like a family decision.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy, just talked about it. You know, it just feels like the good fit for me.
Are you excited for university, man?
Yeah, I'm really excited to go to USC. The campus is amazing. Coach Musselman, the environment, the kids, the school itself, my teammates, everything's going to be a blast.
So there he is. I mean, seems like a sweet, soft-spoken kid. Basketball aside, we obviously all wish Alijah Arenas a speedy recovery. Get well soon. All right, Mojo, moving on to Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, who has announced that he is stepping away from his gig at ESPN. Obviously, on Mondays and Tuesdays, Shannon Sharpe, alongside Stephen A. Smith, co-hosts First Take. Well, Shannon, a little bit earlier today, Mojo, came out with a statement as this rape lawsuit continues to play out on a grand stage, Mojo. It's been the biggest story in sports media this week. And now, again, Shannon has chosen to step away. So here he goes. My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues. Signed, Shannon Sharpe. Coming up, the NFL draft is underway. Not being drafted, it's not the end of the world for NFL prospects. Hall of Famer Warren Moon is going to explain why when TMZ Sports returns right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, all the guys who went in the first round tonight, obviously they're about to get a heck of a lot of money, and they are all regarded as really great prospects. But the reality is, Mojo, that not every football player gets drafted in the first round, right? Some guys go later in the draft. Some players don't get drafted at all. I think the takeaway, though, Mojo, is if that happens, that does not mean that you can't go on and have a great career in the National Football League. And I think prime example number one of that is Warren Moon, Mojo. Back in 1978, Mojo, Warren Moon was not a top prospect, so much so that he ended up signing with a team in the CFL. He plays in the CFL. He proves himself, comes to the NFL, and now what do you know it, Mojo? The guy is a real deal Pro Football Hall of Famer. So with that said, and with the draft here, we had a conversation with the great Warren Moon, Mojo, and we asked him, we said, hey, Warren, what do you say? What's the advice to those guys who either go later in the draft or don't get drafted at all?
No, it doesn't. I mean, there's so many examples. You look at Tom Brady, he was a 6th-round draft pick. You know, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks, if not the greatest to ever play. You look at myself, I had to go to another country and come back, and I end up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I mean, I can go on and on. So I just tell these guys, first of all, just to continue to keep working, because you're starting all over from scratch, whether you're the #1 pick in the draft or whether you're a free agent going to some camp. The key is to get inside of a camp and show what you can do and try and make an impression each and every day you're there doing something. And I think when teams see your work ethic, they see you're one of the first guys in, one of the last guys to leave. They want to see you asking questions all the time. You're very inquisitive about the playbook. Those are the things that are going to get you to stay on a football team. And ultimately, you have to get out and perform when you have a chance to perform. But you just make every minute count. And I think the biggest thing that guys can do is stay humble, you know, because you come into this league being the big star at whatever college you were at. You're not that big star anymore. So be humble when you come into camp, especially when you're around the other veterans, because they're looking at you. They want to see what kind of guy you are. So just stay humble, be polite, and continue to just keep working hard, keep your nose down and to the grindstone, and just keep working. And I think everything you put into it, you'll get back out of it.
Seems like very obvious advice, right, Babcock? Yeah. You'd be surprised. It's ridiculous how many players come into the NFL thinking they were the thing in college and come in with egos. They don't have to study the playbook. They're going to stand on their superior collegiate athleticism, and their careers turn into total bust. Now, that doesn't happen all the time. I would say those cases are relatively few and far between, but you really would be surprised about how many players come in with egos like that and totally torpedo their entire careers. Warren Moon is obviously correct here. I mean, you hype yourself up, you say what you need to say to get drafted, and then the second your name is called, all that crap goes away. You shut your mouth and you work hard, you ask questions, you show them how much you want to work hard, extra film study, extra tape, extra weight sessions, extra conditioning. I mean, you got to show these vets that you belong on this team. You got to show the entire franchise and the fans why that team made that pick and how your name is going to live up to them calling you. So, I mean, it's a lot. Doesn't matter if you're a first-round pick. Doesn't matter if you're undrafted. I mean, I was undrafted, and I went on and had a hell of a career in the WWE.
No, Mojo, but you were on an NFL team and obviously sustained an injury. So who knows what could have happened, right? But I think it's good advice. I agree with you. Maybe it does seem a bit obvious, but I'm sure it's got to be a little bit of a dejected feeling to be a player, to want to hear your name called, and to not have that happen for you. But that's not it. It's the beginning. It's not the end. Coming up, Kristaps Porzingis bloodied in the Celtics win over the Magic. The 7'2" big man talks about having his WWE moment when TMZ Sports comes back right after this.
Banchero rises up, missed it. Pritchard holding his ground. And Porzingis takes a shot from Batase.
And Batase got fouled on that rebound attempt, and you saw him elbow Porzingis after he was fouled.
There is blood everywhere.
Yeah. You see, Batase gets fouled and elbows Porzingis. Wow.
Ooh. He caught him right in the head. You've got blood on the bridge of the nose, and then creeping up the forehead into his crew cut.
I mean, do they not have gauze pads to wipe the blood off? Or
I think they're going to have to. They're not going to let him play like that.
Okay, all right.
There is a blood rule in the NBA. You got to try to clean that up.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, that was Kristaps Porzingis last night taking a brutal elbow right to the forehead there. Oh, man, Mojo. Obviously, this was the NBA playoffs, Game 2 in Boston. The Celtics taking on the Magic. They were up 1-0, the Celtics were, before last night's game, Mojo. They were obviously winning that by about 10 points there. They end up winning the game 109-100. That, though, again, I don't think it was intentional, Mojo, but that was a real serious shot that Kristaps took. Now, Mojo, after the game, the Unicorn, along with his coach, Joe Mazzulla, they met with the media, Mojo, and I really think you're going to like Porzingis' reaction to what happened here. Watch this.
My WWE moments for sure. It just happens in the game, and you know me, I always love engaging with the crowd, and I already knew, getting hit again, blood again, crowd was gonna just, go with it. So it was cool, it was fun.
He just has a great way about him, and I think that helps us. And I do. I love watching him. I like watching him bleed on the court. I think it's important. And then he comes back in and does his job. So I do like that about him.
Mazzulla does not mess around. Jason Tatum, the team superstar, was hurt the last game, and he said, hey, leave him there or tell him to get up. He's a tough dude, Mojo, as you can tell.
After catching an elbow like that to the face and getting opened up like that, if I'm Porzingis Babcock, you know what I'm saying to that guy?
What?
I'm saying thank you. That was awesome. This dude's got an unbelievable amount of street cred right now. Everybody thinks this dude is a badass. Even the other team and the fans and the people that live in that other team's city, like myself. We all think that guy's a badass way more than anything else he's done. Obviously, he's a fantastic player.
He is.
Not like this is his first rodeo, his first time getting hit, but that was wild. I've been split like that before, Babcock. That Band-Aid, if they got that thing to stay on his head, they must have used sticky spray or something, because that is not a spot that sticks well on your head. Matter of fact, my first ever match in WWE on the main roster, I was working with Cody Rhodes in a tag match. I got my face split open, and we actually had to wrap the match a little bit earlier, but the crowd saw it, and they went absolutely nuts. A hell of a debut for old Mojo back in the day, so... This was cool, man. I mean, this dude might get sponsorship deals out of it.
Yeah.
He's certainly going to get a lot of media attention for it. It's not an injury that looks like it's going to keep him out for a while. No. He's going to go right back to work. The stitches are probably going to suck. It'll be annoying for sure, but I would be wearing that one like a freaking badge of honor because that was badass.
Up next, the Washington Commanders show up to support the Washington Capitals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Not just by cheering them on, but chugging beers along the way. The video proof coming your way next on TMZ Sports.
On the TMZ Celebrity Tour, we've seen huge stars like Kevin Hart, Ben Affleck, The Rock, and Jamie Foxx. Buses depart daily from the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, so head to TMZTour.com and book your tickets for the TMZ Celebrity Tour.
Back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, you love to see it. The different professional sports teams in the same city supporting each other, and that's exactly what happened right there. So, NHL playoffs underway. You had the Commanders' backup quarterback there, Sam Hartman, who was chugging a beer as the team's starting quarterback, who is an NFL star, a legit NFL star, and Jaden Daniels cheering him on. Now, I don't know if you can attribute it to the beer chug, Mojo, and to the Commanders' support, but what I do know is that the Capitals won the game 3-1, and they lead the series 2-0, Mojo. So, again, love to see it. Look how pumped up Jaden Daniels is, who is one of the brightest stars in this league, full stop, Mojo. Cool to see, Mojo. I like it, and I know as a guy from that area, you appreciate this too.
You know, Babcock, my inside sources with the Commanders told me that that is what they're using to judge who's going to be the starting QB this year, is who performed better.
Take a seat, Jaden Daniels.
That's it. Who cares how far he took this team as a young man? Move aside, Hartman's coming in hot. You do love to see this. I love when I see athletes support the other city's teams, and that's how it should be. You're trying to establish a rapport within the city. Each team should support each other, look out for each other on the ice, on the field, off the ice. I mean, this is what community is all about here, too. But, I mean, this is something that these guys are just going to have a fantastic time at. I mean, as you're seeing right here, you can go out and appreciate the athleticism that it takes to be successful in a different sport more than the average Joe can. So great that they're doing it, supporting it, love the jersey choice, slamming the beers. Again, I guess that means that Daniels is going to be a backup this year now that Hartman's moving into the starting spot. But who knows? It's a long preseason of chugging. Maybe he'll get the job back.
Yeah, a real shocking development too, Mojo, when you consider he was the Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and a lot of people thought that he had a real legitimate chance to win NFL MVP. But at the end of the day, his backup chugged the beer better. No, all kidding aside, Mojo, very cool. Anyone, even if you don't love hockey, if you've been to a hockey game in person, there's so much fun. It's the playoffs. I mean, this is as good as it gets. It's a great sports time right now in D.C. I mean, the Commanders had been so bad for so long, and now to have the team that they had, it's a really exciting time. So very cool to see everyone out there last night. And obviously, the Capitals hope they can shut this series down and they move on. All right, Mojo, we are out of time. We got a good one tomorrow, though. Obviously, round one in the books. Tennessee Titans had the top pick. Did they make the right pick? That's the question, Mojo, and that's the question we're going to pose to one of the greatest players who has ever put on that Titans uniform. Tomorrow, we're talking to that man right there, CJ2K, Chris Johnson, going to join us, Mojo. Good pick, bad pick, we'll ask Chris tomorrow. And that is going to be a great show.
Breaking down the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft will absolutely be the best show since today.
I'm a lawyer.